which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy.
It's very well known. It's very well known.
Come on.
People say it.
Please. Please. So hang on. So how can you both be weak and a dictator?
Yeah, that's it.
Pick a lane.
Pick a lane, exactly.
Can do whatever the hell he wants.
And I guess it was just the luckiest president ever that he didn't start any wars despite being completely wrong and dangerous. It's well known. That's a new line. It's well known. I'm going to start all arguments with that.
It's well known, Rita.
It's well known.
It's well known that
you've been eating my snacks that I've been hiding in my desk. It's well known.
It's well known.
Here again, David Muir and Lindsay Davis.
Okay, round two.
That we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty.
Are we going to talk about Afghanistan at all?
Oh.
The botched withdrawal, which led to so much of the madness we're seeing around the world, including in that region.
You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight.
Would Russia, I mean, this is again an opinion that's very widely held and debated. Would Russia have acted the way it did if not for America's weakness as displayed with that botched withdrawal from Afghanistan?
There's the footage of that plane flying off with the people falling off it, the $13
billions worth of arms left behind for terrorists.
Well, and of which he clearly says, yes, I had a plan to get out, but we were going to take the gear. If we couldn't take the gear, we'd blow up the gear, and we were going to blow up the airbase, which China's now got.
Getting out of Afghanistan isn't the issue. It's the manner in which they did it, which is where the mayhem began.
We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they threw him out of a campaign.
Oh, he's going to do another fact check, Democrat Dave.
He's a president, but we have a president.
We literally had Trump having to fact check his fact check about crime rates, and Trump was right because Democrat Dave shut up after that.
Yeah,
so which tells you
when he gets pushed back. I mean, this is the guy who's, what do they say, a mile wide, inch deep. He doesn't know the detail. He's reading the card.
He's reading the DNC talking points he's been handed.
I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded.
Oh, well, that worked well.
Yeah.
That worked well. That was a show of strength.
Yeah. So when they send it to fix the border, it breaks. When they send it to start a war, to stop a war, it starts.
Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay their own way, Kamala.
Because he makes them
pay
your
for
share.
that protection.
The greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO. And what we
Which
have
shouldn't
done,
be bankrupting America. The rich
100%.
European nations should be paying their share, which they did under him. He's the first one who said, you want the benefits, contribute.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please. He would have been sitting in Moscow.
Not good. Don't do quiet, please.
No, I liked it.
Oh.
No. She needs...
Okay.
No.
Maybe
I'm
it's
sorry.
my inner lady that doesn't want to be
No,
told.
I'm sorry.
Quiet, please.
No, I'm sorry. She just ranted for a couple of minutes. He's responding and she's shouting. So, no, quiet, please is a very polite way of saying shut.
I always love when she's stronger than me.
Just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war.
Yes,
She just said that.
Good.
She just said that herself.
Stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with
And
Zelensky
she botched
and
it.
Putin.
Just like they botched the Afghanistan withdrawal. She botched that so badly that 3 days later, by her own account,
Yeah. Oh, but
Ukraine was invaded.
no, we're going to fact check that, Mr. Former President.
Yeah.
She's actually wasn't.
No, it wasn't 3 days. It was 2.5 days.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow.
Wow, what an assist.
I know.
That is
hilarious.
Oh, come
Zelensky, I've
on.
now met with him over 5 times.
They're like human booster
Reality is,
seats.
it has been about standing as America always should.
He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up.
Do you think it's interesting that she is clearly pissing him off? Do you think that that makes him look bad, or it's an example of just her playing unfair?
Look, sounds like I'm going to be on the fence with this, but there is something to be said for the quintessential fiery Trump. The reason why Trump has been so impactful isn't because he's your diplomatic politician. It's because he's Trump. He says mean things. He says things other politicians wouldn't. But you also think there is something to be gained by him just being measured and not allowing her to continuously goad him or not. He needs to attack the moderators. That's what he hasn't done. He needs to do that. He needs to put on the record that
I've stood here for an hour. I've watched what you've done. You've given her,
you didn't correct this. You didn't correct that. You attempted to correct this.
The president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance.
Oh, hang on. Listen, hang on. No. I'm not, this is outrageous what she's doing here. Now, yes, the idea that, he invited the Taliban to Camp David. The Taliban was the government before, ended up being the government after. Yes, that means at one point the enemy, but peace talks between the person that you're fighting a war with can happen. That's a very low blow from her.
I would much rather have the Taliban in Camp David being told, if you kill a single American, we will blow up your house and show them a picture of the house so they know precisely where it is, than leaving the Taliban billions of dollars of weaponry and abandoning your citizens, abandoning your allies, people who provided assistance to America for years.
Come on, son. Get in there.
I got involved, and Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban.
God bless Abdul. Not God bless Abdul.
Yeah, we've all got that one friend. Mine's called Abdul. He happens to run the Taliban.
Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo.
This is the thing. This is what works. If you want to deal, you can't just have this fairy world where you hope there's no bad people, there's no despots, there's no dictators, there's no extremists, there's no Islamists. They exist.
They didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people...
Now we want to move on. Let's move on.
Moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine. Because they saw how incompetent
they saw the
and her
botched
boss
Afghanistan withdrawal. Absolutely.
Look at this. Look at her. Oh, you're unbelievable.
McMaster said that just last week. That's why Russia invaded Ukraine.
Oh, here we go. Now it's about her. Okay, this
She
is
wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger
just
picture
a beat-up
question
session on him.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
Oh, please. The race baiters and the Democrats, please.
As opposed to, if you ain't black, you're not voting for me.
Well, never mind that. This is a woman who encouraged the BLM riots, said they should keep rioting, that they were going to keep rioting.
How Donald Trump started. He was he owned land, he owned buildings.
I think she's run out of her prepared lines. We're about to go into word salad territory.
But rent property to black families.
Oh,
well, no, it shouldn't be rent. Oh, Jesus.
Who took out a full-page ad in the
But
New
what
York
we're
Times.
not hearing from, so we've had every question from the Democrat perspective. Have we had a single question about Kamala Harris? You have said Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. You have said he is...
Do you stand by calling him a Nazi, etc., etc.?
You've said he is a white supremacist, is this, is that. He was almost assassinated. He came within a few millimetres of being shot in the head. He was shot in the ear. Do you retract those comments? Do you regret that sort of dangerous
ramping up
rhetoric
the temperature 100%.
that led to an assassination attempt that killed an innocent man? But no. Do we have that? Has there been a word about Corey, the firefighter who was murdered at that rally?
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden. And I am certainly
but you are
Donald
his vice
Trump.
president, and you were the last person in the room, and you literally have cut and paste things onto your policy page, and you've said that you're going to implement most, if not all, of his things like tax policy. You can't have it both ways, where you turn around and say, okay, we all know physically, mentally, she is a different human being, but she is the co-pilot of the plane. And her plan is to keep flying in the same direction, which 60% of people say is the wrong direction.
And let's not forget, she was the woman who, up until 5 minutes ago, absolutely denied there was any cognitive decline with Biden, said he was mentally fit, sharp, hard worker, all the lies. Where are the questions about that? Kamala Harris, you claim this, you claim this about Biden.
Yeah.
Do you now acknowledge that you misled the American people about the president's mental state? No.
Correct.
No questions at all that are from a Republican perspective or a critical perspective. Everything is from a Democrat talking point. I mean, really, you might as just have AOC sitting there and, I don't know, it's Chuck Schumer asking the questions.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the
Sorry,
continuous lying
you
about
said
this stuff.
mandatory gun buyback.
As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand...
Now she's a gun owner. I'm telling you, she's going to be showing up on a pickup truck with a MAGA hat soon. I mean, she is just completely abandoning.
I'm a gun
This is what Bernie Sanders was talking about. She's just saying whatever needs to be said to try to appeal to that middle ground.
Yeah.
And then once she's in power, the real Kamala emerges.